50 Things That Oscar Needs to Know. This was the second book that you...
A grandpa book.
It's a grandpa book, but it was like for older grandchildren, just a little bit. The first one was for like younger ones almost. It was more simple in concept, but this one was a little more...
This is for children more than 10 to 12 kind of age group. And again, if you heard the explanation on 50 Things That Make Me Sad, this is a grandfather dachshund imparting wisdom to his grandson. And this one's a little more involved in the conversations, and they kind of may have two things they're teaching rather than one. But to give you an idea, 50 things that Oscar needs to know, Oscar being a grandson, that one of the things he needs to know is believing is seeing without seeing. Another one would be 50 things Oscar needs to know, that resurrections are easy to believe in. There's a quote by Martin Luther. Another thing is today becomes tomorrow too soon. Okay, loneliness is a choice. And then it'll have a poem by Elizabeth Barrett Brown. You know, one of those things. You'll notice in here I'll use a lot. I like Sarah Teasdale, another St. Louis poetess. So you'll see some things by her. But you have to like, I think, this idea, even if I've not done it the way you would do it, of introducing subjects to a grandson from a father or a grandfather or a grandmother or a mother that you just pass by in the hustle and bustle of life, and that you never really impart any values to your children while you're busy escorting them through this world, when in fact everybody ought to just say, stop a minute and listen. Here's how a man really thinks about love, right? You remember, I think it's in here, that the thing I always felt towards you, where I think it's Sarah Teasdale who said, until my breath is questioned, and I have left the land of men, will let me love with all my strength, careless about love again. So I would say to my son, as I have, the only one who really wins at love is somebody who loves with all his heart, risks everything. And even if you end up on the losing side of it, you can hold your head high. What's a shame in love is to give a half love. It's a meaningless thing. Leave all of yourself. Well, that may or may not be something that you subscribe to. It has to be my feeling about love. But you'll see that Sarah Teasdale cares about it. And of course, there's no greater love than Oscar's going to find out. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son. Well, that love wasn't half-hearted. That love was full of the imagination couldn't come up with. This is something so remarkable. And like I stumbled for the words to really explain how wonderful it is. All of that's here, but if you don't think it has a Christian bent, you'd be wrong. It's rooted and grounded in Christianity, but it also will utilize wise men throughout the ages who have come to these same conclusions about subjects.
One thing, Bill, that people tell me about this book is I have found adults tell me how they enjoy reading this just themselves, apart from children. I know you want them to pass it on, but it's been a real encouragement just to anyone that picks it up.
Maybe that speaks more to our hunger for some meaningful conversation, and sometimes the only people you can get meaningful conversation from are dead people. Because dead people tend to concentrate on the important things in life. They aren't caught up on whether they're going to have a hamburger, a cheeseburger, or a snack wrap. They really are thinking about bigger issues. And so, as he explains to Oscar, some of my best friends are dead. I've learned more from dead people, certainly, than I've learned from anybody who's now breathing. Okay? So, it's just something to think about. 50 things that Oscar needs to know. I hope you get a chance to look at this.
And again, our sweet Diane Schleihan put her heart into this, drawing the little wiener dog and grandpa over and over again in beautiful settings.
It was really great.